ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਗੁਰਗੱਦੀ ਦਿਵਸ ਮਨਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਭਾਈ ਹਰੀਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਮੁਹਤਾਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਉਦੇਸ਼ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਸਕੀਏ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਗੁਰਗੱਦੀ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਮਹੱਤਤਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, और उस संबंध में भाई साहब नाल कुछ विचार उठाने का करते हैं तो स्वागत करते हैं भाई हरिनाम सिंह खालसा का। वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम जी।
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
So congratulations for the Gurgadi Divas today, which we are celebrating all over.
Beautiful.
Many times these occasions we just congratulate each other and we do not understand the basic relevance.
Yes.
Or more of often it happens that we have to go to the Gurdwara today definitely because today is Avtar Purab or Gurgadi Divas or something like that. So if today you can take us on this journey of that enlightenment, what the Gurus try to bring in our lives, how do you view this? What does this Gurgadi Divas mean? And why we as Sikhs and youngsters, we need to imbibe those divine qualities, what Gurus have talked about?
Well, the Guru Gadi Day is the day that Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave to the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib to be Guru for all time, forever. That no Sikh will ever bow at the feet of a human being. That contained in the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib with the Shabad was the complete teaching, the complete understanding. Guru Gobind Singh Ji understood in his mastery that we needed some anchor in this life. Without an anchor in this life, like a ship on the sea is going to drift, maybe we'll come in, maybe we'll go out. But he wanted to give that anchor. He also knew that the human mind itself, after him, there was no one to succeed in that way as we had from the 10 Gurus, from Guru Nanak Dev Ji through to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He was the final living Guru who understood the mastery of Shabad itself and wanted to give to all humanity that anyone at any time could have access to that knowledge, to the power of the Shabad in one's own life.
Right.
When he left his physical body, he said, you will find me in the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib. But what is that technology that he understood? So first part is to not to bow to a human.
Right.
For what reason? Because you know, as a human being, today we're in a good mood, tomorrow we're in a bad mood, next day we're in a half mood, right? Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib is consistent and constant. The message, the gift, the hukanama is there forever. Day after day after day, year after year after year, it never wavers. It never has that mood. It's not a personality. It's a way of life. It's a way of guidance. And that guidance, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, he understood that that guidance was to help people through this darker age, through this Kali Yuga. That we see today in this world, that if you look at, you know, there's that snake that has that rattle on its tail. We call that the rattlesnake.
Right.
And Guru Gobind Singh Ji understood that the human mind itself would start shaking like that rattle.
Right.
And that if it didn't have a base and an anchor and a guidance, then it would be lost.
Right.
We're very blessed, those of us who were either born at the feet of the Guru, who came, those of us who were lucky enough, as myself, to find myself in the presence of Siddhi Guru Granth, are very lucky people. I tell this to the children when I'm teaching. Because we have a guidance.
Right.
And we have what we call in English a touchstone. Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave us that touchstone to live by.
Right.
Every person, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he gave the Guru Gadi of Siddhi Guru Granth, he said every single individual will have a sovereignty. That means a personal relationship to Siddhi Guru Granth.
Right.
For example, I have my relationship. I feel Guru gives me this guidance, guides me that way. You may feel, well, when I do the Matadeg, I'm feeling this. We each have our own individual relationship.
Right.
And so what's very important today, especially for our young people and our children, is to give them that connection, give them that foundation of what the Guru Granth Sahib means in their life.
Absolutely.
It's not just Matadeg, then let's go have some prashad, we'll go have some langar, we'll chat with our friends.
Right.
It's to understand that here we are in the presence of our Guru.
Absolutely. And as you very rightly said, it's not just connected to just going to a Gurdwara and bowing before the Guru, but how to translate that thought amongst the youngsters also. That's a major crisis what we are finding
Yes.
today. What the Guru said, he condemned during his whole life, but those things we have brought into our gurdwaras and we are preaching for
Yes.
there also. And it's becoming a matter of great concern.
Yes.
So how to tackle this particular issue, that if you have to connect the youngsters with the divine message, how we need to start about it. You're also going all across the world and finding the same things which the Gurus
Yes.
had said, don't do this, we are openly doing it, and then the Gurbani is misinterpreted, and then it is said, see, it's written in the Guru Granth Sahib also. So how do you feel threatened by this particular issue, and what needs to be done on this?
Education, Ji. And our young people want to understand. They won't follow blindly.
Right.
We can't say just follow the Guru. They'll say why, what's in. They have to understand, which I teach is that, and how I learned, was that the Guru Granth Sahib is a science and a technology of life.
Ji.
It's not just a religion, a holy book. It's a way of living, a way of life. And beyond that, it contains the vibration of Shabad Guru.
Right.
It contains the nod, the sound vibration, that just within itself holds that power in order to shift a person's mind,
Right.
to open the channels of the brain, and also to bring that stability and balance. So I talk a lot to our young people about balance. That what's happening in this world, and all our young people, even the youngest ones, they're on the internet, they know everything, they know the tragedies that are happening, terrorism, the situations that are going on within this world and within at our own doorstep.
Right.
And I talk a lot about the balance and the need for balance in their lives, and how the Shabad can bring them that balance,
Right.
and how Simran and Vaheguru can bring them that balance, and then practice with them and talk to them about those experiences.
Right.
Our young people today want to know from us, our elders, want to know not just the history, nor do they want to be told what to do.
Right.
But if we give them the stories of the understanding of how to incorporate it into your life, how it can change, and how it's personal experience of changing our lives, then they'll listen more to us. These children, these young adults are very smart. They won't go by command, they go by reason.
Right.
We have to learn in the Gurdwaras and our Sanghas how to, just as, you know, when we have our children today, they all want to know why.
Yeah.
And we have to explain that
Right.
and what gift that they have, rather than turning themselves away, you know, give them the gift of understanding so that they develop that relationship to Guru Granth Sahib, because that's a relationship for life.
Right.
But we do need, all over the world, and all our Sanghas, a huge amount of education. And the other part is acceptance.
Right.
Our Gurdwaras have to have acceptance of our future generations. We have to serve the youth, not be afraid the youth is, well, they're going to take control of the Gurdwara. They don't want, I tell you, these kids don't want control,
Oh, yeah.
but they want
Be a
involvement.
part, to be involved in it.
We
Right.
have to get smart now
Right.
and learn how to engage, involve, and let them be a part of the process. Us graybeards, myself I'm speaking of, you know, we're not going to be here forever.
Right.
Your generations, those generations after you are going to take over. And a lot of people come to me and they say, well, what about this corruption and all this politics, blah, blah, blah. I
Right.
said, okay, that's true, that's happening,
Right.
but Guru Sahib will not let that continue forever.
Absolutely, Ji. Bipran ki reed, when we talk, it'll automatically finish.
Hanji.
We'll go for a short break, come back,
Hanji.
and like to discuss with you that Guru Gobind Singh was a versatile personality.
Hanji.
He was not only a saint, he was a scholar, he was
Yes.
a warrior, and what not. But right now, the way we are compartmentalizing religion also, or spirituality, but Guru Gobind Singh was an example, a living example of how everything could be done in this human body form.
Absolutely.
So we'll discuss about this after this
Thank
short
you,
break.
Ji.
ਜੀ। ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਭਾਈ ਹਰੀਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੋੜਿਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਟਰਨਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਨ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਨਮਸਤਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਬਣ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਯੂਥ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਕੁਝ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਦੀ, ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਹੀ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਸਕੀਏ। ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਬਾਰੇ ਭਾਈ ਹਰੀਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਤੋਂ।
ਵੈਨਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਰੀਨ ਡਰਾਈਵ ਤੇ ਸਥਿਤ ਰੀਅਲ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸੁਪਰ ਸਟੋਰ ਉਹ ਵਨ ਸਟਾਪ ਖਰੀਦਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਹੈ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੈਰਾਈਟੀ, ਵੈਲਿਊ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵਾਜਿਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਸਾਫ਼ ਸੁਥਰੀਆਂ ਹਾਈ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਤਾਜ਼ੀ ਸਬਜ਼ੀਆਂ, ਫਲ, ਬੇਕਰੀ, ਡੇਅਰੀ, ਰੈਗੂਲਰ ਤੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇੱਕੋ ਥਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਦੀ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ। ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 6043223727.
We cater to all your ethnic needs. Thank you for shopping at Superstore on Marine Drive.
Once again, welcome back to the program. ਭਾਈ ਹਰਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਕੋ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, ਚਾਨਣ ਪਾਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਭਾਈ ਹਰਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦਾ। ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ, so from Guru Gobind Singh's life, if you can just take us back and reflect upon some of his divine attributes and the way he conducted himself.
Yes.
He was a scholar also, despite when we talk about his physical age, it wasn't much, but what
Yes.
he has accomplished during that period is immense. It is beyond
Yes.
comprehension. So could you reflect on that and how we need to understand from his life and imbibe those qualities in our lives?
Well, you know, he was a great humanitarian. You know, when we know the story with his father, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, how he stood up. He was 10 years old and said someone has to sacrifice his life. He
Right.
understood. He had the courage embedded with him in his birth life,
Right.
right? And being, they say that he was incarnated from Rishi Dushdaman and Hemkund. We know that story.
Ji.
But he was a man who cared and had compassion and understanding and wanted to, you know, what had come before him
Ji.
by the 9 gurus previous from Guru Nanak Dev Ji was embodied within Guru Gobind Singh Ji
Right.
to create a future that would perpetuate itself for thousands upon thousands of years.
Right.
He had that understanding that he wasn't living just for that moment, that everything that he did and everything his children did, Sahibzadas, everything and all Sangat that was with him would have a resounding effect not only thousands of years from today, from that time, and we're part of that now, but unto infinity. That
Right.
means that throughout. So he was able then to understand that with all that amazing, we could call vibrancy that exists within our Sikh foundation, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the stories, the history, the compassion of our gurus to give their lives for others, not for themselves. He embodied all of that
Right.
within one single soul, beyond our comprehension. So he knew that he had to create that future for thousands of years to perpetuate.
Right.
He also knew that right at that time that he had to create Khalsa. He had to create those who were willing to stand against these times
Right.
and have the strength and the courage and the foundation to do that. His work was to create, in his short life, was to create that foundation that would last forever, that would give us the courage to be able to stand.
Right.
And he knew the only way to do that was through devotion. That without that devotion to understand, he gave us the identity, 4 pillars,
Right.
Bana, Bani, Seva and Simran.
Right.
Gave us the Panch Kakar to understand, Panch Baniya to keep the mind straight. He
Right.
gave us the identity of who we shall be so that we would not fall apart
Right.
when the world is falling apart. He knew what would happen 200 years from 300 years to today, 300 and some 10, 15,
Right.
whatever years it's been so far, and will be 600 years, 1,000 years from today. And he created that firm science to be embedded for the world to be able to have that experience. And there's no one on this planet, I'm telling, who had that consciousness, that awareness.
Right.
And we are the living example of that which has perpetuated itself from the time of Guru Gobind Singh Ji.
So, Bhai Sahib ji, now the question that arises is that today we are commemorating the Gurgadi Divas,
Hanji.
we commemorate the Avatar Purabs. But the way we commemorate that, is it a true Shraddhanjali or a true service, I would say, to our gurus? Because the gurus did not want this kind of thing, what we have started today. The guru's message was, and it has been always said, that the mouth of a hungry person is my golak. And that's the place where that right money
Yes.
should go. And then they also told us to use Vivek Buddhi, to use our wisdom
Yes.
to become better human beings. But we are just shedding all these things and going in some other direction. So from your perspective and from the Guru's perspective, what experience you have, if you could just let us know today, what would be your message on this Gurgadi Divas, how to incorporate that thinking of the Guru and implement it in our daily lives also?
By sharing Dasvan, Vanchak, by giving what you have, always keeping the memory of sharing and giving and helping all humanity, not individual, what gain can I get from something. We have to be open to understand that we represent a way of life, a way of living that can help many people in this world to achieve freedom and peace in their lives. Our prayers for peace have to be strong during these times. So it's a remembrance that, again, we've been gifted. Sri Guru Granth Sahib is a gift to the Sikhs, right? We don't own it,
Right.
right? It comes from the mouth of those gurus, from the gods.
Right.
It has been gifted to us to protect, to honor, to give the respect. But we have to know that if we don't give that respect, if we don't give that honor, if we don't give that truth, Sri Guru Granth Sahib is not owned by us.
Right.
Right? So everything is a matter of consciousness. We have to elevate ourselves now.
Right.
We have to get out of this thinking that we're not good people and things are wrong. We have to elevate out. And again, my focus is on our youth and our young people, because they're the ones that are going to have to carry the banner of Khalsa
Right.
and to understand it. Otherwise, they'll leave. If we keep just doing the politics, keep Golak mentality, right? Then what's going to happen? We see it already. The kids are going to leave.
Right.
They need to know, again, I always go back to teach the science. Why do we keep our hair?
Right.
Why do we read the Bani? What is the power of Simran in our lives? How can it affect us? How can it change us?
Right.
How can it make us better people? And we're not missionaries, but we're ambassadors. And we have to be those ambassadors for peace.
It was a pleasure talking to you, Bhai Sahib. Thank
Always
you
my
very much for your time.
privilege.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਸੋ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇਹੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਆਓ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੀਏ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਸੀ, ਜੋ ਸੋਚ ਸੀ, ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ ਨੂੰ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰੀਏ। ਉਹ ਗੋਲਕ ਮੈਂਟੈਲਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਓਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਜੋ ਹੈ, ਪਰਲਸ ਆਫ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਿਲੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੈਲਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਉਨੇ ਹੀ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਵਾਈਜ਼ ਆਨਸਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਟੋਮੈਟਿਕਲੀ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ, ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਗੇ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਸ ਗੁਰਗੱਦੀ ਦਿਵਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਮਨਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਿਰਫ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਣ ਤੱਕ ਹੀ ਸੀਮਤ ਨਾ ਕਰ ਦਈਏ। ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਸੋਚ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਗੁਰਗੱਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਪੁਰਬ ਹੈ, ਅੱਜ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਮੈਂਟੈਲਿਟੀ ਚੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਠਾਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜੋ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਿਭਾ ਸਕੀਏ।